Knowing him, he keeps deleting stuff.
Okay. Sorry, I had a video playing while I was getting this ready. So, the long-awaited Tuesday stream, October 4th, 2022. Hello, my name is Brittany, and welcome to Into the World of Witchcraft. Today we are going over Book of Shadows and how to make them. If you see BOS, most of the time it means Book of Shadows. It's just how we abbreviate it in our little world here. So let me move a few things out of the way so I can get mine a little closer. I have two. One of them is I'm trying to use this one more because, I don't know, I just feel that it's got a lot more room, and my goal is to put like newer research in it that I find. This is my original one. It has a lot of research in it, actually. It's not completely filled, no, but it does have a lot of research. And what's interesting and what I find useful, in my personal opinion, is putting these tabs in. They're just sticky tabs, they're post-it tabs, but I'll get into that in a minute. So, Book of Shadows. What is it? Basically, a Book of Shadows is a witch's hone to their information. You can put just about anything in it. If you think it's important, put it in there. Even if it's just a name, you can use your Book of Shadows for almost anything. You can use it even as a recipe guide because there are kitchen witches. You can use it as a spell guide if you're strictly just doing spells. You can use it for all of your research, like every single thing you learn, you can just put in here. So, now on to recommendations. A lot of this is going to be opinionated because Book of Shadows are your own. You do what you want with them, and I will emphasize that a lot. I feel like I need to be a little brighter. There we go, that's better. I'm working on getting a camera, okay? It's just, they're expensive, and I'm hoping the one that I get, it's a cheaper one, but I'm hoping it is still good. But anyways, I will emphasize that. It is yours. It is what you want it to be. It's no one else's but yours. Okay? So, you can take everything I say here with a grain of salt. You can take everything I say here like it's the word of the gods. Whatever you want to do. Autumn, wait. The cats are bothering me. Okay, you can even see my book right here. So we'll start with actually this one, the one that has the least amount of info in it. I'll just put that there. You can see the top of it. This I actually bought in a metaphysical store at a mall in... Is there a bug? Cat's chasing something. There has to be something. Found a moth last night. Anyways, I bought this at a metaphysical store in Nashville, Tennessee at the, what's that big mall in Nashville? The name eludes me, and I definitely can't tell you the store name, but it's a metaphysical store in that mall. Pretty sure there was only one, so it won't be too hard to find. And I don't know if they would have exact ones like this still. They probably do, because I feel like these would be good sellers. But it's solid wood. Like, it opens on hinges. It's solid wood. I fell for it because of the paper and everything. I recommend my recommendation for Book of Shadows. I understand writing in a solid straight line is damn near impossible. I know I can't do it unless I have lines already there. But at the same time, I hate having lined paper for my Book of Shadows. Almost to the point where, like, what I'll do is when I'm like researching, and I actually recommend this if you are like me in this way. When you are doing heavy research and you're like going website to website, book to book, you're just writing and writing and writing. If you have an iPad, take notes on it. Or if you have just a spare spiral notebook, take notes on it, like your chicken scratch and everything, take that. And then go to your Book of Shadows and translate it into there so that it's nice and neat and easy to read. Because then you can also color coordinate things, you can draw specific pictures, and you can have everything set up how you want. Like for me, I re-put in my sigils in this one, but then I actually ended up getting this book about runes. I showed it in a previous video. It's called The Runes Box by Lona Everston. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. And in it, you actually have personal mottos and everything based on your specific rune. And it talks about bind runes. It actually shows a couple examples. And so I actually took it and I wrote out the information that I wanted from it and my personal rune and a bind rune that I thought was useful for my life. So that's one example of what I'm talking about. But so you can get something really fancy like this. This is really fancy. Hardwood. It was $40. I only know that because I never took the sticker off the back paneling. I don't know why, but this says it was also made in India. Good to know. The other one I know was made in America, and there is a strict reason why I know that. Because actually I got this. Didn't realize how old this was. This is 4 years old. There is a specific reason I know this. When I was 17, apparently, because this is 4 years old, it was made in April of 2018, as said in the note here from the person who created it. No, I did not buy it on Etsy. No, I did not buy it off of Facebook Marketplace. None of that stuff. I actually went to a state park. I think it's a state park up here in Indiana, and they have a pioneer village where there's a lady that does pottery. There's a guy that shows you how to do blacksmith. There's a pretend distillery. I say pretend because they don't actually make anything from a distillery, and that kind of sucks. They have a corn mill where they like literally make the, I guess, corn flour. what is it that you use for cornbread? It's like literally the basis of cornbread. That's what they make. It's fresh, like fresh off the mill, freshly ground, and they'll bag it right there in front of you and everything. I always love to get the cloth bags because it's just so cool. I love the experience. But I went to they have a little gift shop, and the gift shop, some of the stuff that they have is just kind of for fun, but then a lot of the other stuff they have is actually handmade by the people that work in the Pioneer Village. And they have a leather worker who gets real leather. I don't think he himself kills the animals, but he does get real leather from farmers and everything who have slaughtered animals and stuff nearby. So that's where I got this. This is, I'm pretty sure, cowhide and everything. It's leather bound, and he made it. And it looks like his name was Steven, but it says created in 2018, April of 2018. And this is my original Book of Shadows. Now, I do recommend your Book of Shadows being in a book that you deem important. If you are in the closet, and I don't mean gay, I mean the witch's closet, like the broom closet. If you're in the broom closet, I would say make yours until you are able to be in a safe place where you can have it in a more special book that's obvious to you, that like this is more than just like a random notebook or something. I do recommend a spiral notebook or something that's very just inconspicuous. Like if you have a ton of like types of like journals and stuff in your room or something that like all look the same, I recommend doing that. If you are someone who just has notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks, just pick a random one and use that if you are in the broom closet, because that'll help you hide it from your parents, roommates, those extremely Christian conservative people that would rather hang you than accept you. It's sad to say, but it happens. I've been in Discord groups of people that are in the broom closet, and they've gone into detail about just how hard it is and how they won't even make a Book of Shadows because of that fear of them finding out. So another thing to do is, if you can, maybe join a Discord or a Facebook group that has material that has already been researched and is just posted in the group. And you can reference back to that whenever you're doing anything. And in another video, if we want to, just tell me down below if this interests you. But we can go into detail about witchcraft that doesn't look like witchcraft. So if you're in the broom closet, what can you do to keep witchcraft alive in your life without people suspecting you of witchcraft? You know? Like, of course, there's going to be those people like, oh, that's witchcraft, like in a joking manner. There's always those people. I'm one of those people. I'm a witch, and I'm one of those people. It's always hilarious to see people like react and be like, no, I'm not, that's not. And it'd be like, I'm fucking with you. It's just funny. Like, come on. But you'll get those people. So just beware. Sorry, I'm fixing this. It's like feels too low. Okay. Now on to the issue with the lined paper. Lined paper is fine and dandy until you want to do stuff like maybe this, where you have a whole column of stuff written out. Yes, it would be so much easier if that column was on lined paper in a sense. But for me, whenever I translate everything into my Book of Shadows, I like it to be aesthetically pleasing. That sounds awful because it shouldn't be about that. And it's not about that. It's just what makes me feel good and what makes me feel that this is more special is because it looks nice because that's how I want it to look. Because with it being organized and looking nice, like, I think the best one I have is candle signs, where I literally have pictures of what the candle does. Yes, you can put that on lined paper, but the lines for me would be distracting. I'm easily distracted, as you all can tell by all of my lives. If you have any type of drawing in your Book of Shadows, I recommend having some type of non-lined paper for that page. Or having, if you want, you can also just take the drawing and print it and stuff, because sometimes that'll also look better. Like this. I should have just printed this. This would have looked way better. But it's unique to my Book of Shadows. This is my Wheel of the Year with a little thing down here, with a little triple moon goddess thing down here. But anyways, it's my own, and it's not the best, but it's unique, and it wouldn't look like this if it was on lined paper. Now, I am listening. Thank you. I'm in and out. Book looks great. Thank you. Welcome, Shani for Life. Thank you for joining. I hope you are having a good night. You can talk whenever you want. That's fine. Hopefully you can catch the playback so that you can catch up on some of the stuff I've talked about for the Book of Shadows. But right now we're getting into the actual, like, I guess important stuff. I'm not sure. But anyways, so if you are not using if you want, you can use a lined notebook. I'm not gatekeeping you on using lined paper. I'm just saying I think non-lined paper looks better in the end. But how does it look better in the end? My trick is take a pencil and a ruler or straight edge, whichever one. I prefer rulers, but sometimes I keep losing my rulers. I don't know what happens to them. So take a straight edge and draw the lines out. Make sure they're separated a decent amount depending on how big your handwriting is. But draw out lines, the whole page. Just draw them out down the whole entire page, just in case you use up the whole page. But also do it one page at a time. And that's when you translate over your notes into a fashion that makes sense. Because I know I've also taken plenty of notes for my Book of Shadows, and it's been like, here's this topic. Okay, notes. Now here's this one. Okay, do it again. And it's almost like a college class where all of a sudden translate, okay, well, here's more on this first topic that helps and translates better. So then you have now like two topics, but one is separated into two parts. Well, you don't want it like that in your Book of Shadows exactly. You're going to want everything from one section together, which is why I recommend the Chicken Scratch notebook along with your Book of Shadows. I'm not sure if I even have my old Chicken Scratch notebook. Actually, I do. This is my chicken scratch notebook. It says leave your fears behind. Originally, I was thinking of using it as a book of shadows, but I ended up not. But if you go through, you see the pages, well, you can't see it very well, but some of the pages are scratched out. There's lines through them. And that's me telling myself, hey, I've already put this in the book of shadows. It's done. We don't need to continue with it. It's already discussed. Another important thing that I think is good is going to the first page of your chicken scratch notebook and writing in it and putting what you would like to research. Now, this could be research over several years. This doesn't have to be, you have to research all of this tonight, it's due Friday. No, not at all. You can put everything from the types of witches all the way down to astral projection and summoning angels. Whatever you want. Just, there are, as I've said before in other videos, there are basics to what you should know before you go on to summoning angels, but you can still research it. There's nothing wrong with researching it, at least in my opinion. Someone else might have a different opinion, but these are all my opinions. Now, with the lines made out of pencil, once you have everything written down, I recommend in pen, unless you are completely and utterly just defenseless with a pen and you just screw up too much with writing in a pen, which is why I say take it slow when you're translating notes. But I've also been translating notes for years because that's how I did it in college too, in high school, because teachers just go way too fast. But erase the lines. Once the ink has dried, sometimes sooner than other ink, depending on what type of pen you're using. I now use the Sharpie S gel. It dries pretty fast. I used to use the G6 gel. That doesn't dry fast at all. So you just let it dry. Make sure you keep the book open while it's drying, and then erase all of the lines, all of them. And you can even, while you're doing these lines, you can actually format your page. Like if there's going to be columns, if there's going to be photos, pictures, anything, you can format the page however you want. That's why I recommend a straight edge and a pencil, because you can format the page with that and then go on to actually writing everything down. Now, after that, my second tip, is this my second tip? Who knows? Count the tips. But tabs, it doesn't look witchy. I know it doesn't look witchy. But would you rather sit there and be like, I wonder where my runes are, and go like page to page to page. Oh, I wonder where my runes are. There they are. No, you don't want to do that. You can just open the cover, look at all of your tabs, and be like, oh, there's runes. Touch that tab, and boom, you're at the runes. I know it sounds like I'm being bitchy and sarcastic, but I feel like it's just so much better. Now, if you're going to use your Book of Shadows, like I will at some point as a cosplay, for example, take out the tabs, because you're not going to be needing to find a specific spot most likely. But that's for cosplay. That's for fun. That's not for what you're going to be using it for at home. That's why I always recommend having tabs. because I always have tabs. I don't think I have tabs in my office right now. I think I took them all to work. That's a no-no. I should have tabs. Well, fuck. But anyways, I haven't added much to my Book of Shadows in a while, so I need to start researching again. But I recommend tabs. Now, the stuff you want to put in your Book of Shadows, there is some stuff that I recommend, but again, it's up to you. You can put spells. If you put spells, make sure you put the ingredients, your incantation, if you use one. And when I say ingredients, I mean any herbs, any crystals, any candles, any of it. Make sure to specify if it's a spell jar. And then you need to also specify if it worked or not. What you should do is you should put maybe a date or something of when you did it, and then come back and put down after like a couple of months, say how it worked, how it's doing, or whatever. But also remember, spells don't always work like that. A lot of them need time to brew and to manifest and to spread. Don't come at me and ask me about hexes or any of that stuff. Don't. I don't fuck with that. Y'all can do that in your own time. And don't come at me for not telling you how to do a hex. I'm not doing it. Now, we're going to go through what I have in my... Actually, first things first, I'm going to shout out a store that I think I have shouted out before. The name is Moon Street Kits. Go to her page, Moon Street Kits. Literally all of that, one word. She has Book of Shadows stickers and sheets that you can just buy. And she even has PDFs for these too. And they just have a bunch of different information on stickers that you can use. Some of this stuff I've found useful. Some of it I've already had. But other of it, I just found something that I needed to put in my Book of Shadows. So I'm going to actually go and put, because this book doesn't come with a bookmark, so I put a little sticker thing in here for a bookmark. Oh gosh, I have to sneeze. Did I die? Oh, fuck. I hate sneezing. Oh, gosh. Okay. Anyways, she has the best just kits and everything. She has like herb kits where it's just a fuck ton of herbs to start you out. Like they're in fairly small vials, but you also don't, unless you're doing something major, you don't use a whole vial of herbs in one spell, especially if you're on a budget. And then she has crystal ones. Like I'm going to go to her page real quick and read out to you the kits she has because it's important to me. Like, I know you might not think it's important, but it's important to me for you all to know what she has. No, I do not want to get the Etsy app. I already have it. Okay, so she's also on TikTok, so you can see her there. She has a TikTok herb box Now, I will tell you, a lot of these are really expensive because of how much is in here. But she hand packs all of this. If it comes in a special box, she hand paints it. Everything's handmade. All of her designs, everything is handmade. She has rolling trays for, you guys, if you're like that. Trinket trays, spiritual detox candle ritual. She has ritual boxes basically. The closet witch spell kit. I was talking to you closeted witches a little bit ago. There you go. Yes. Some of these things are fairly expensive. Actually, no, all of these things are pretty expensive in my eyes. But I have bought from her, and I will say it is worth every penny. The Sex and Love Witch Kit, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Some of these names are great. Return to Sender Deluxe Kit. That actually might be something I get. You never know when you're going to need a return to sender, because a return to sender a lot of times is when someone sends you something negative and you're starting to see it in your life. You're starting to feel down. Things are starting to go completely opposite of what they were just like a few days ago. So what you do is you do a return to sender ritual basically, and you can manifest that in multiple different ways. I've never done one before, so it would be a first time, but I think having a kit would help. In my opinion, that's why I like her so much, is because she has kits. And that's really helpful for people like me who are not good with just creating their own spells. I create my own spells every once in a while, but it's not a normal thing. I also don't do a lot of spells normally, just because they do take time and energy, and a lot of time I either have no energy or I have no time. So let's see. She has runes, which also are fucking gorgeous. Just saying. Like, I've been wanting to buy a rune set from her because they're just she has makeup / crystal bags, which I've been eyeing because yeah. Travel protection. Now, a lot of these things, she only has a few left. Oh my gosh, that's fun. It's a rune birth chart PDF print. I'm kind of interested. What am I? If I can find my birthday. My birthday is May 8th, so I'm Laguz. That's how you pronounce it. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. Ooh, flow. Mine means stop worrying. I love it. I love it so much. I just had to check because I saw it. I've never seen that on her page before. Rune divination meanings. New and full moon ritual kits. She also has several volumes of her Book of Shadows because she constantly is updating it, obviously, because there's constantly new information to be found. She has mini kits for protection warding, sleep, focus, anxiety, money, love and attraction, a moon water bottle. What's fun is it says fucking moon water. I love her. She's great. But I suggest going through her stuff and looking. I'm not going to go through all 5 pages, but she definitely is someone that I recommend to buy through. That's who, when I buy kits, I buy through her. And she always sends like a little extra crystal here and like some notes and just some cute little things, extras. And it's just wonderful. But now I'm going to go on to what I recommend if you're not doing the sticker kit type thing of what she has or what someone else may have, and you're just going to research on your own. I'm going to now tell you what I recommend based off of what I did. I probably won't give you everything, most likely, but I'll try to give you some of the stuff that I feel like is important. So, number one thing in my head that's important, and this is always at the front of my book, sigils. A how-to guide on how to make the sigil and how to activate it. And I usually only use one way of making the sigil, which is a witch's wheel. But I also might use the number box that has numbers and then letters. And then it's like a number wheel 1 through 9. Practically the same thing, just in a different format. And each one, they can look different, like the same exact sigil. Like you can have the same word or same phrase, and the sigil will look completely different using these two methods. Don't at me, please. I do recommend having a full moon schedule. Yes, of course, this is going to change every year, most likely. But I do recommend it. I probably, honestly, after this stream, I'll probably go and find 2023's full moon schedule if they have it out. Because right now I have 2020's, and the thing is, what it does is it gives you the date and it gives you the name of the moon, like old moon, snow moon, worm or crow moon, pink moon, flower moon, strawberry moon / rose moon, buck moon, thunder moon, sturgeon moon, red moon, corn moon, harvest moon again. But technically it's a blood moon because it doesn't fall. This is October. Basically, it's a harvest moon if it falls in September. But if the full moon doesn't fall in September again, it's considered a blood moon if it's in October. So in 2020 was a year because on October 1st, the 1st of October, we had a harvest moon. But because it was a harvest moon that fell in October and not September, it was a blood moon. October 1st of 2020, a blood moon. Then October 31st, Samhain, Halloween, was a blue moon. Yeah, you know how people say once in a blue moon? Yeah, it was a blue moon. We had a blood moon and a blue moon all in the same month. We were all flipping our lids. It was awesome. In my head, I thought it was awesome. But then we have like the beaver moon / frosty moon, and then the cold moon / long nights moon. That's like the end of December. I also recommend moon phases. That is something you might want to know. The elements, that's another basic you might want to know. I'm pretty sure that was my previous video, was the elements and days of the week. Okay. This one might be a little advanced. I have signs from candles. This you might want to put later in your book of shadows, but I do recommend having it if you are going to be someone who does spell work via candles, because it'll tell you how your spell is doing. So, runes. You don't have to have runes. You do not have to have runes in your Book of Shadows. I will tell you that. I do. It's my ancestry, it's my belief system. So I have runes in mine. You do not have to. I am telling you that right now. If you do not believe in the Norse side of things, you're more of a Greek mythology, you're more of a Roman mythology, Egyptian mythology, African mythology, any other mythology, you don't need to have the Nordic runes in your Book of Shadows. This is a me thing. It's not you have to. Same with how to read them. If you do not plan on doing any divination with runes, you don't need this stuff. Same with the alphabet. Now, this one might be kind of a reach, but I do recommend potentially putting the Theban scripts in your Book of Shadows, just for reference in case someone writes to you in it. It is the witch alphabet. It is a little complicated. I will show you right now. Right on this side, it's a little complicated. I prefer the Elder Futhark runic alphabet over the witch alphabet any day because it's confusing to me. Because also you don't have a period as your end of sentence. You have this weird, I don't want to be disrespectful, but it kind of looks like a dick. It looks like it has balls on the bottom. Guys, I just can't. Birth chart. If you're into astrology, just make your birth chart and put it in there. Just do it. Don't be like, oh no, I don't need to do my birth chart. If you sit there and be like, well, I'm a Cancer. If you do any of the astrology shits, create your birth chart, get all of the data and information about what's on your birth chart, and just fucking put it in there. Just put it in your Book of Shadows. Because then you can refer back to it and you don't have to memorize it. Just memorize your sign and your ascendant. Maybe your sun, moon, maybe your Venus. I feel special because my Venus is in Taurus. So they also say, this is completely off topic, but they say if you dress like your Venus sign, you'll be more attractive. The fuck does a Taurus wear? Like fucking brown? I don't know. I don't think I'm dressed like a Taurus. I'm wearing like striped sporty shorts and like a nice actual blouse top. So, no. Anyways, but you just, this is nice. And it tells you about like who you are. Because and it tells you your degrees and everything. And mine is like Taurus, resistant, stubborn, hardworking, stable, skepticism. But my ascendant is Cancer. So it says dreamy, psychological nature oriented to nostalgia, guilty, highly developed instinct to protect self, guilty, rich inner life. Depends on what you mean. Emotional, loyal, protective, dedicated, guilty, fearful, anxious, dependent, stubborn, guilty. Like, and what sometimes sucks is your birth chart will call you out. It will. I will tell you that right now. I am not good with astrology. I'm not. A lot of this stuff evades me. I don't fully understand it. I have to like literally go and look at what I wrote about each individual thing to understand. I know I'm a Lunarian because it showed up on my, because the website I had used, which I do not remember what it was, because I cannot find it again. The website I used, it showed that my moon sign was dominant, which it was Cancer, So my sun is Taurus. I have a Cancer moon, and I'm a Cancer rising. I feel like I have a Libra in there somewhere because Matthew's a Libra, and we had matching Libras in something, but this one doesn't show me Libra in anything. So maybe I wasn't, but that was also a different chart. Hello, welcome back. I'm bitching about birth charts now. But anyways, so it showed that my dominant planet is the moon, basically. So depending on what your dominant planet is, it'll give you a name. So I'm Lunarian, obviously that person of the moon. But even though that's kind of surprising, since like I kind of survive off of sunlight and stuff, like if I don't get enough sunlight, like I get depressed. I don't know. But for here it says contemplative, vivid memory of past, self-protective. I'm being called out. Like I could read you every single okay, it's not that many pages. It's one page front and back. But I could read you all of these and every single thing called out. Like my midheaven is in Pisces in house 10, and it literally says fit well in nearly any circle, prefer working at own pace. Yes, but you didn't have to say it. Like, it's not negative. That's actually really nice. That's really nice to say, but like also at the same time I'm just like, you didn't need to know me. Who are you to know me? Anyways, I do recommend having some type of information on spell circles, like how to open a circle, the elements, what you need to open a circle. You don't always need to have the elements cast around you to open a circle, but I do recommend it. It makes it stronger. And then how to cast the circle and how to close the circle. Days of the week. I only recommend this because I feel like it's a bit helpful to realize, like, if you want, because some people like to base their life on the days of the week. Most of the time, it's just like color coordination. But I do recommend it. Because it also kind of gives you ideas of what type of spells you can do depending on the day of the week. And it can be even more heightened if you do that type of spell on that day of the week during, like, say, a full moon. Like, if a full moon falls on a Monday, and you have trouble with fertility or sleep, or you're trying to have certain types of dreams, do a spell on some of those on that full moon on that Monday. Boom, there you go. I think it's helpful. Wheel of the Year. I don't think you need to have it in your book of shadows. I think you can get a printout of the Wheel of the Year. Maybe write down in your book of shadows, if the printout doesn't have it, information about them so that you know, hey, this is the theme of it, these are the colors, and this is the decor that I might want to use. But other than that, yeah. Again, candle colors and meanings. I recommend that. I personally think it's important because you wouldn't want to be someone using a, let's see, black candle for, like, it says protection, absorption, destruction of negative energy, repelling negative energy. You wouldn't want to use that over, let's say, a silver candle, which is goddess feminine energy, remove negativity, psychic development. Yes, you have that remove negative energy, But if your whole purpose of the spell is not to remove negative energy and you're actually wanting that psychic development and feminine energy, you're kind of screwing yourself by using the black candle. So now this page has 3 different things. It has meditation, astral projection, grounding. Ignore the astral projection. Focus on meditation and grounding. Have those in your book of shadows, or have some type of thing near your altar or your workspace so you know I need to do this, because you will want to ground yourself when you can, and you will want to meditate when you can. I have issues with falling asleep when I meditate, so I'm still working on that. But, it's just, is this getting lower or am I just slouching? I don't know. But you just trust me, get it. Tools, you don't need to have a page on tools. You really don't. I do, but that's because my book of shadows, I literally put every single thing that I research in here. So yeah. Crystals. I'd say that's also optional. You do not need to write down every single crystal in existence and its meaning and uses. You don't. If it's a crystal you have that you want to use and or use a lot, maybe write it down so that just in case one day you're like me and you forget constantly, what the hell is this that I am carrying around constantly? You can look back at this and be like, oh, it's this. That's why I didn't do this and I should have, but I recommend writing a brief description also of what it looks like. I should have done that because I have more than two crystals that I have no idea what they are. But some of the good things about it is I don't use them. So it's not too big of a deal. But like they're just there for decoration and stuff. But like it's kind of, come on, especially it gets embarrassing when people are like, oh, what's that crystal? And you're just kind of like, I don't know. Same with herbs. If you have the herb, write it down. Maybe you can even write it down on the jar that it's in or something instead. You don't have to put it in your book of shadows. But just so you know, write it down somewhere. I have written down the best spells for each moon phase. That's what I found. These are not the only spells you can do with each moon phase. It just said the best. So again, do what you want, write what you want. You don't have to do these. So next is summoning angels. No. What did I say? No. You are not to write this down yet. Okay. Mm-hmm. Unless you are not a beginner anymore, ignore it. Moving on, Kindle spells. I recommend if you are someone who is into spells via candles, write it down. I have a specific way to do candle spells. Do I always do them like this? No. But you don't have to. Just like cleansing, everyone thinks that, oh, you need to take a little bit of sage or incense and just go and be like, oh, you're not welcome here, get out, please, and just like be nice and gentle. No, take your wind chime, shake that motherfucker like crazy and say, get the fuck out. Just, you don't always need to be gentle with everything. You don't need to follow everything by the book rules. You don't, which is nice because I don't always like that. I do like basic instructions that I can look back on just in case I feel like I'm doing something utterly, completely wrong. And the thing is, with candle spells, remember I had a candle signs way back when, earlier in my Book of Shadows. If I think something's going wrong with my candle spell, I can go to that and know exactly what's going wrong by looking at the flame. Is it popping? Is there a lot of black smoke? Is there a lot of black soot? I'll know. And there's a lot of divination that people do by reading the wax that comes off of larger candles. You can do that. There's just so many things you can do. Spell for spicing up a marriage or long-term relationship. No. That is a love spell. 1, you need your partner's permission. 2, if you're watching this series, most likely you are new to witchcraft. No, we do not do love spells here, okay? No. Got it? No, don't do it. That's why I'm not even going to give you any information on that one. We're just going to go on to numerology. I love numerology. I don't do it very often, but it is fun. It really is, being completely honest. I need to do Matthew's version. I need to put in his name and birth year and all of that because that'll be fun. I want to know what his stuff is. But numerology, I do recommend looking that up. I do recommend researching that and everything because that numerology is fun. I wouldn't say it's as much of a divination to like gods or spirits or anything. It is more of just kind of yourself. Did someone say love spells? No, Shani, no love spell. No. Bad. Naughty. No love spells for you. But anyways, but moving on from numerology, I'll let you guys research numerology yourselves because it is a joy to research. It is fun. So, next thing I have is weddings. If you are in a relationship with someone and you are talking about wedding, married, and you would like to do any type of pagan ritual or anything like this, like I have a full who is performed by, setup, service, hand fasting, every single step. All I did in my wedding was hand fasting. I did a complete non-religious wedding with my husband. The only religious spiritual thing we did was the hand fasting ceremony, which was honestly amazing. I loved it so much. I recommend, but moving past that, you can look up wedding stuff. I don't recommend, well, actually, if you're single, you can do it too. You can look up wedding stuff because I am guilty of that. When I was single, I was looking up wedding stuff. I would imagine what dress I was going to wear. Did not at all wear a dress that I thought I was going to wear. I will say that now. I thought I was going to be in a little spinny ass ball gown with a big ass train, and I ended up being in an A-line dress with a train, but a shorter train, and just dramatically different than what I thought, you know? But anyways, there's a Sweet Dreams spell jar that I have in here. It works for about a month, and then you have to, I recommend doing it on a full moon. And if you guys want to know how to do the Sweet Dreams spell jar, just let me know either in chat or in the comments, and I'll even mark the page because it's literally right here. I can tell you exactly what I did because it actually worked pretty well. because he was having nightmares a lot, and that's what I did. I also have a fertility spell jar. I don't have any results written down because she never told me the results. Please don't hate me. Is there a nightmare spell jar? Probably. I've never done one. I don't like to normally do darker magic. I usually stick to the gray and white magic. So like helpful things and everything. But yeah, no, you can probably make a nightmare spell jar. You probably wouldn't use some of the herbs and stuff that I used in my Sweet Dreams spell jar. You would probably use more of darker herbs and stuff. When I say darker, I don't mean like the herb is darker. I mean like their uses are darker. You want to make a sigil for nightmares, which for you it would be easy because it's one word and you just make it. You'll seal with candle wax. You'd probably use, I don't know what candle wax. Now you're making me wonder what you would use. So let's go to herbs. You're making me that was kind of basically the end, so I'm kind of interested. Because a lot of the stuff that I have is for good things, so. You can maybe use meadowsweet because it's a sacred flower of spring, the maiden, and the underworld. The underworld part might help with nightmares, but it is a sacred flower, so it might not. Gosh, yeah, no, I have too many good ones. I don't really have any dark. You would have to probably look up your own herbs for that, because I don't have anything that's like, oh, fuck you. But you could just kind of do like almost like a hex type jar and put in that you just want them to have nightmares. Like a hex type jar, but instead of ruining their life, it's just I want them to have occurring nightmares. You get me? And then I have like a sticker guide because with my first order with Moon Street Kits, she sent me a bunch of stickers. There was a new and full moon manifestation guide, mini guide for raising your vibration, spell jar guide, crystal shapes and what they mean, teas and their meaning. There's a sachet for remembering your dreams, prosperity bowl spell, because you can also do bowl spells. I've never done a bowl spell, but I have an offering bowl and I could probably clean it and use it also for spell bowls. But she has runes, the elements, and that's all I have in this one. This one is where I have all of the stickers from like the tarot, the major arcana and stuff. But I think that's really all I have. If no one's interested in the Sweet Dreams spell jar, then I think that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions about Book of Shadows or anything? Because that's basically all I have for Book of Shadows today. Can't really think of anything. I am most interested in spell jars. I can go more into detail on spell jars, but would you like me to tell you about this specific spell jar? Like how to make the Sweet Dreams spell jar? Because I can. You don't have to cover it now. Well, I won't cover all of spell jars now, but I can at least tell you about the sweet dreams. Okay. So, first things first, you will want to cleanse your space and your jar. You'll see this as a trend. Cast your circle. You don't have to do this, but it is highly recommended. Cast a circle, preferably as large as you can. I say that because I like a big working area, and casting a small circle is just kind of annoying. You'll want to anoint the candle you're going to use with the name of the person you want to have sweet dreams and your intention, sweet dreams. Pretty straightforward on that part. This is what I filled my jar with. I filled it with lemon balm, oregano, nettle, peridot, and amethyst. I made a sigil for sweet dreams, and you can make your own personal sigil, obviously. I personally think it works better when you make your own personal sigils. And charge the sigil with the flame of the candle that you anointed, and then add the charged sigil into your jar. If it turns to ashes, try to scoop up the ashes and put them in the jar. It most likely will turn to some type of ashes. Some people even use dissolvable paper, and they'll put moon water or something in, and it'll dissolve the sigil. That also works. Fire. I like fire. Then you'll seal jar with the candle wax from the anointed candle and repeat 9 times. Yes, that is a lot, but a lot of times you want to repeat these in threes. You can repeat it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. You just in threes. That's how you want to repeat it. So for this one, I did 9 times, and it says, I desire sweet dreams for, and then you name the intended party. You say that 9 times. You allow the candle to burn until it stops on its own. So I recommend tea candles a lot for this. And if you're using a tea candle, you can then in turn use a different candle to seal the jar, because stick candles are a lot easier to seal a jar than a tea candle, in my opinion. But then after the candle is out, you can close your circle. And then my results said, worked well, no nightmares, wears off after about a month, recharge with full moon. I think it works pretty well. If you have any questions or recommendations, send them to my email. It is down in the description. If you just want to chat about things, you can message me on my social medias and or Discord. The social medias I have made, they are new. They are specific for this channel. So I hope you guys enjoy them. If there is anything you want to see on those social medias, just let me know. And I think that's all I have for you today. Remember, always comment, like the video, subscribe if you liked what you saw. Yeah, and I can't think of anything else that I need to tell you guys today, but just send me your recommendations of what you'd like, and I can list them down and we can go from there. And if you have an idea on a new series you'd like, I can do that too. So I think I have a playlist made. It's called Into the World of Witchcraft for this channel. I think I have it set to public. It should be public, but who knows? I will watch the replay and ask some questions. Okay, yep, just let me know. And I will see you all next time. So hopefully Friday, hopefully. Next Tuesday, I have to go get blood drawn. So depending on how I feel after that, because playlist is public, bet. Good. I did it right. I'm not good at this YouTube stuff. I'm still learning. So I will talk to all of you later and have a great day. Bye.